Union workers at Rochester's daily newspaper have agreed to take 1 week off without pay in a cost-cutting move. For Democrat and Chronicle employees, the alternative could have been much worse. Here's our news' Seth Voorhees downtown with the latest.
Well, the furlough affects Gannett employees company-wide. It impacts both the company's papers and its television stations. Of course, the Democrat and Chronicle is one of those newspapers affected by this furlough. Union members voting today to accept the company's offer, saying it's better than the alternative. Gannett, the company which owns the Democrat and Chronicle, gave workers a choice: 1 week unpaid to be taken by the end of March or risk losing more jobs. The union took the furlough, members of the Newspaper Guild of Rochester voting to accept Gannett's cost-cutting move. It comes as Gannett stock has plunged by 75% over the past year. And Gannett certainly is not the only media giant having trouble.
Saying it's a tough time for print media newspapers is a grand understatement. It's an incredibly rough time.
Bruce Austin chairs RIT's Department of Communications. He says while the economy is a compounding factor, the bigger issue for newspapers continues to be the internet. Subscriber base is smaller because more people are getting their news from the web.
As a result, newspapers have closed, some newspapers have consolidated, some newspapers have gone from dailies to 2 or maybe 3 times a week. Some newspapers have increased their price by 50% and cut their content by 20% and are scratching their heads wondering where the readers are going.
Austin says digital media has intruded on all forms of media, but newspaper has been hit the hardest by far. He thinks the current state of the newspaper business will transform, that papers will do more in-depth, long-form journalism. It's the type of thing he says in the end is what most readers want.
I think a city could lose its newspaper, but I think the smart media buyers recognize that just opens up a new market that they're going to be able to enter. Again, the medium will persist, though its form is going to change a little bit.
Of course, the people who are affected here, the members of the Newspaper Guild, are the people who bring the nuts and bolts, really, of the newspaper. The reporters, the photographers, graphic design people, those who work in multimedia and other areas. Now, I spoke to Gary Craig, who is, of course, a veteran reporter at the paper. He's also secretary of the Newspaper Guild. He said that employees were given the choice. They can take these 5 days of unpaid time all at once, or they can spread them out. However, they must be done in the first quarter, which is by the end of March. And another point that's important here is that there are no guarantees. This is just a move to take care of Gannett's financial difficulties in the first quarter. What happens for the rest of the year is really anyone's guess at this point.
All right, Seth Voorhees reporting from downtown Rochester.